All right, there we go. This is session 77 of Forbidden Lands, which has gone way longer than I had originally anticipated. But you guys have finally successfully, after weeks away from home, made your way back to the village. Dropped off some stuff to get repaired at the blacksmith. Slept in an actual bed. Got cleaned up, tidied up. Checked on some of the long-term projects that the village had done in your absence. Checked in with Kogan to make sure that nothing untoward had happened. And are basically just kind of resting and relaxing for a couple of days before you make your trek back to the dwarven stronghold to get them to assist you forging the star metal into a weapon of some nature that you can use to house the elvish gems and hopefully create a weapon capable of facing a demon god. I think that's pretty much it. Actually, there's nothing pressing, nothing on the docket other than that, as it were. 5 minutes. But it's up to you how long you guys want to spend here in the village, and if there's anything in particular that you would like to do while you're here.
I'm
We
pretty
do
sure we
have a
need to.
market. It's just
We
saying
need to
that
pick up
we have a
another.
market.
We
To
need
say
to pick
that
up
we
another
have a market,
set
if
of.
anybody needs anything.
Both of you are waiting exactly the same amount of time.
It's very Canadian of us. Like, you try to step sideways to let someone pass, and the other person step exactly in the same spot. Go ahead, Anita, please.
We need to pick up another set of armor to replace the shredded set of spare armor that we always keep.
Yes,
We
and
need.
we have a market if anybody needs to buy anything common.
I don't remember the last time I bought anything. Period. It was probably a set of
Last
armor.
time, last time we bought a bunch of arrows for dresses not to go out of arrows.
Oh yeah. Didn't we? We bought those though from the dwarves, didn't we?
You've bought so many arrows at so
Um,
many places.
yeah,
It's 'cause Trustius keeps shooting them, losing them. So
I mean, arrow are a thing that you're gonna run out of when you shoot people with them. So,
yeah, they get stuck in people.
All right. So, is there
Oh,
anything in particular folks would like to do?
Petrestius can kill several months building stuff. So it's whenever you guys want to go, honestly. I think we were saying that we were going to go sooner than later kind of deal, right?
Yeah, I think the plan was to go sooner rather than later. Yes.
I did everything I needed to do last game. Uh, Only thing I wanted to mention is while I'm home, I'm gonna check the library because I'm starting to try to develop my perception magic. Not sure the name of the magic, so I'm
Oh,
gonna just consult the library before
gotcha. That would be. I think it's awareness for this
awareness.
one. I think it's awareness for this school of magic.
Yeah, looking into Jakku's secrets might be useful. So I'm gonna consult the library, and after that, I'm pretty much ready to go. The village produce lots of food now that the things are rebuilt, so we're probably able to restock on meals and food.
Yeah, everybody can reset their food and water to a D12.
And I'm gonna switch the stuff on my horse for when we go, so we have all the materials we for the funky crafting.
I'm gonna collect some rocks because I'm down to 1.
All right. Yeah, Trustius is in the process of making you a really nice sling.
Cool.
Yeah, that's only gonna take like half a day, so I can finish that up. Or try to anyway. It's a hard roll, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we didn't do the crafting roll for that yet, did we?
No, we didn't. Just putting in time. I got half a day in so far, but I mean, we got sneaking half a day pretty easy, I would say.
Yeah, between like if you're waiting to get the armor repaired and all of the fun stuff and just generally relaxing for a day or two, you can easily find the time to fart around with the sling.
My chainmail
All right,
seems
so that's
fine. So
check at minus. What is it? -2.
It's -2 if
Minus
you
4.
-2 or -4 depends on how nice you want to make the sling.
All right, you might as well try as best you can, right? -4. That's tough. Oof. That dragon leather's hard to make.
Yeah, it's really stiff. Like the knife gets caught on the scales. You jab it into your thumb. It's just a shitty day making a sling. But it does make a really nice sling by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah, it should be +2, right? And
Yep.
anything that the fancy leather does, if it does anything.
So I mean, it gives +2. So bonus plus makes it much more resilient because now it can actually take a little bit of a beating before it breaks. So. Is there anything Ryzen wanted to do in town before everybody sets out?
No, I'm enjoying the comfort of my inn and regaling people with tall tales of our adventures. Just being back in society, not being stuck in a crappy, rainy camp, and just enjoying being back in civilization.
Holding court in front of the fireplace?
Exactly.
Excellent. And yeah, and the people of the town here, I mean, they're, quite a while ago, you guys saved them from, demonic cultists that were sacrificing people for the crops. So they already kind of liked you guys, but, hearing the tales of your adventures and stuff, you see some of the younger people are, kind of like playing out like mock versions of the fights that you tell them about, like with their like little wooden swords and stuff. Being like all
I liken it.
inspirational.
I liken the quality to be like in which Thor movie it was when Loki was pretending to be Odin and he had those horrible actors, Matt Damon or whatever.
nice.
Oh my god.
Last time you asked me for it, so it's built now. We do have a theater now in town where people can make shows like that. It's technically the shrine building that we twisted into a theater, so the village has a theater now for them to be terrible in.
True story. I did not even realize that was Matt Damon at first. I think until I saw the end credits, and then I rewatched it. I was like, "Holy shit, that was Matt Damon!"
Yeah. And eventually, like before you guys leave the Heldman and Alcaran, the elf and the orc minstrel that were traveling that you met, do eventually like stumble across your town, and it's like, hey, we finally made it. we've got like some shows to show people, and all the people in your village, they just want to see like reenactments of the tales they've been told. They're not interested in this new shit that these other minstrels have. You know, it's kind of like, you know, a big concert. Everybody's like, play Freebird. Like, you know, reenact the fight with the beer bandits.
Oh, whoa, whoa.
That's a traumatic one to watch.
Well, I imagine in the retelling, it's a lot more heroic.
Yeah, like my
Oh, yeah.
brave fight against the crocodile alligator. That was totally more epic than, well,
The beer bandits is a tale people can relate to. I mean, who amongst us has not had our beer stolen?
Me, because I don't drink beer. It's gross. Desi's gonna pick up an axe. There's something I can buy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it needs to be any particular size.
Would you like a battle axe, a hand axe, or a two-handed axe, or a throwing axe?
Well,
I gave Kogan my really nice hand axe, and I think you want a battle axe. I assume.
I'm gonna have to get rid of some of these arrows to be able to carry any axe. Because right now I'm at 12-12 in terms of my encumbrance.
I can carry 3.5.
Okay.
I'm at my max.
I can spare a point or two of encumbrance.
How much is it to? I suppose I can check. Just a sec.
Arrows are a normal item.
Yeah. It's one of those things like a load of arrows that increases your die by 1 is a normal item. But regardless of how many arrows are in your quiver, it counts as a normal item, whether it's a D6 or a D12.
Yeah, because I took my arrows all the way down to a D6, and there was no change in how much weight I was carrying.
Nope.
I was going to ask, is
How many
food and
loads
water
of arrows
contri-
are you carrying?
Yes, food and water counts as well. Basically, any resource, food, water, arrows, or torches. If you
Torches.
have any dice at all in those, it counts as a normal item.
So
I
those
have-
so those do get added on Discord to the weight?
Yeah, it's already calculated in.
Oh, okay.
I have a D12 in each.
And side note, coins also weight as a weight. I learned that the hard way.
Yes, they do.
If I can get someone else to carry the lamp oil and the lantern.
How much is that weigh?
They're both light.
So together they would be 1.
Sure, I can do that.
I will take them off my sheet. Of course, now it means that the only thing I'm carrying is just weapons, 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 and more weapons and armor. That's it.
And Fighter says what?
What do you need? What more do you need?
So which axe is going to be normal weight?
The battle
That's
axe.
all I've got.
So the battle axe is heavy. The hand axe is normal.
But I think there's something you can do when the weapon is heavy.
Yeah,
Like
you can
there's
basically
maneuver.
you can kind of wind up and you can do extra. I can't remember if it's extra damage or you get an extra die.
Yeah, but that's not going to help me if I can't carry it around. So, you said a hand axe?
Yep.
That is apparently what I'm going with. Because Axe Fighter doesn't specify any particular weight that the axe has to be, just that I'm using melee for it.
It just needs to be in there.
And that's something you need to add to my sheet, Chris? I don't think that's something I can drag over from
You
any
should
other
be able to
sim.
just drag it. Yeah, so if the weapon is heavy, you can use a fast action to basically increase the damage by 1.
Cool. Oh, never mind.
And the hook trait on the axe basically means as a fast action, you can try to use it to like hook their leg and knock them prone. Alright, so Tresius has made a sling, Kali's collected some rocks, Ryzen has regaled the masses, Okutai has checked on his various things in the library, Desi's picked up an axe.
I'm trying
There
to.
might be something I want to do before we leave. We've had a talk. I've been only 10 willpower for a couple of days now. Might be time for me to try to make a thing.
Alright,
Enchant the thing. I was thinking of making a animal form talisman.
alright.
Try to do that. I'm gonna go away so I'm not putting consequences on people when I do that. Or killing my baby hatchling griffin. So I need to cast a spell to put it into the object.
You do.
Okay. And I need to put additional willpower to make it
Yep.
reusable.
Yep. So
Okay.
yeah, so basically it's gonna the power level of spell determines the maximum strength of the animal that you can turn into. But the extra willpower doesn't for the duration of the magic item doesn't count for risk of blowing yourself up.
Okay.
Do I have to do anything to this sling entry, or is that something you're gonna drag?
I already updated it for you.
Cool. What am I looking at?
It should be plus, like it should have a rating of 3 instead of a rating of 1.
Yes, it does. Cool.
Yeah. So it's 3 extra dice when you make a sling attack.
Oh, thanks, Trustius. That's awesome.
Well, it is Elven made, and the doors will make fun of you, but it'll work.
The doors were making fun of me just for using a sling.
Well, they tend to do that as well.
Oh no!
Well, it has to be expected.
Magic mishap.
I really hate magic mishap.
Oh, that's okay. That it just made you hungry. Apparently
Oh
channeling
god.
the strength of a bear or a boar or whatever does a number on somebody's appetite.
Oh yeah. I'll have the demeanor and appetite of the beast for the rest of the day. Gonna be a terrorist in the inn.
Yeah. So yeah, and I assume you're spending the 5 willpower to make it like a once a day thing.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, Okutai successfully did not blow himself up. He should probably write notes for Trustius.
I did, but he cannot cast spell from my spellbook, so
Oh, well, there you go.
cross referencing is not working. I just wonder what kind of animal has 10 strength.
I think this. What is the strongest animal?
Did the Ankylosaur have like 14? That was an animal.
It had a strength. I think its strength was 8. Oh wait, maybe I probably find it.
Technically, it can go up to strength 10.
Oh no, it had a strength of 15.
Yeah, that's why it was so hard to tame. There must be animal with less strength than that.
A bear has a strength of 6.
Not bad.
Strength 6, melee 3, paw attack with a base damage of 2. That's not shabby. So remember, the important thing is you need to be able to cast the spell again to leave the form.
Yep. Yep, that's why I wanted to have the amulet. I can always cast a spell and use the amulet to come back.
Yep. Good plan. Alrighty, so after a couple days of rest and relaxation, as you're getting to probably a couple of weeks away from the first changing of the leaves for fall, you guys are once again ready to set out for the dwarves, which is a little ways away. So which way would you like to go?
Do we have to? We could just stay here and, enjoy our nice village.
I do get the appeal.
Someone
But,
else can save this island.
Somehow I doubt it.
It is a
Wait,
big
so do you
island.
know where
We're
this
just trying
village
to
is?
save. We're trying to save ourselves.
Yes, this is enlightened self-interest as far as I'm concerned. I'm not planning to live as long as the rest of you.
Anyone that dies here goes to Jakuza's realm. Any one of us can die any time, as we saw with the bandits. So the demon needs dealt with, and soon.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Kogan would like to stretch his leg a bit. If you want to come with us.
Well, I would, but somebody's got to keep an eye on things here.
Oh, I'm grateful that you do.
Well, I just when everything is all said and done, and you guys have killed the demon or whatever, or died in the process. I suppose if you died in the process, you won't come back. When it's all said and done, I'll probably spend some time wandering around.
Yeah, I think you got my pigeon, but if the Wandering Orc Empire army comes by, you can tell us that it's the village of the people that they put on the mission, so they better not scrap it.
Will do. And I mean, I hope you guys are successful, because what Trustee said is true. I kind of not want to go be demon food,
Yeah. When I come back, we can go back on wandering.
I mean, I'm not afraid of dying or anything. I am afraid of having my soul eaten.
Yep, I get that.
All right. So,
Oh, we're gonna disappoint Risen and still decide to go. The village that we heard about is just above the barrel, the baker's hut. So we could
Yeah,
follow.
yep, you did hear there was a village up there.
We could follow the river and go up to the village and then veer towards. Oh no, it's at the Dragon Den. It's not that. Okay. Could still follow the river and go up northwest and then veer towards Dragon Den. And if we want to stop at the village by then, we'll be like 3x away. If the alchemist witch was buying your stuff there, they might have materials for us to enhance whatever we're gonna craft at the dwarfs' place. Maybe they got some of that black coal, magic coal, you know. So I propose this way. Don't know if I can.
All right, going up, following the river.
Yep. If nobody's already there.
Well, that makes sense to me. Northwest until we're even with the Dragon's Den and just straight over, right?
Yep. And when we veer, we're gonna be close to the other village if we want to check it out. But let's start by getting there.
All right. So you guys set off in the morning. I assume even if it is raining, you wait a day or two until it's not raining. And finally set off along the river. I don't need to lead the way. I do need a scouting.
Okay.
All right. So as you guys make your way along the river, it's a pleasant enough day. I mean, it's like a late summer day. You know, the insects are buzzing. You can see like the fish coming up to the surface of the river to snatch up some food and stuff like that. It's quiet and uneventful, peaceful even. Except for this very strong smell of like rotten eggs that seems to be in the vicinity. Caldy, you kind of notice it first. You kind of follow it around a little bit, trying to get like a better idea as to where it might be coming from. And it doesn't seem to have a source. It just seems to be around you.
Ugh. Anybody else smell this?
Yep.
Oh God. Something is rotting. Maybe eggs? Some giant egg. Look,
Well,
I
you
don't think
are
we
a
need
master of
to.
magic. Perhaps it's a magical emanation of some sort, Caldy.
Gonna make like a lore check to see if I can figure out what this is.
Sure. All right. The only thing that comes immediately to mind is the smell of rotten eggs. That kind of sulfurous smell could be brimstone, which would mean some sort of demonic presence or energy.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make a sense magic roll. Would that work?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So I've got full willpower, But we don't need to use any of that, right?
Well, when you casting magic always takes willpower. It's just a question of how much willpower you want to put.
Safe casting costs 1. I don't think I've ever used that before.
Yeah, safe casting basically if your magic's level is higher than the level of the spell you're casting, you can spend 1 less willpower for every level of difference.
All right, so I'm going to spend 2 willpower and I'm going to safe cast. That gives me 2 dice.
Oof. No explosion necessary. Caldy does seem to have this magic thing down. So,
Paralyzed from time to time.
We have all these gems too close together again, don't we?
Power level 3. So you can definitely sense magic. It's hard to detect. Like if it wasn't for your finely tuned sense of danger, you probably wouldn't have noticed the smell, which got you to look around in the first place. And it takes a fair bit of concentration to actually kind of pierce the obfuscation around the magic. And it seems like you're not necessarily being watched, but something's looking around for you. Like maybe like if somebody is scrying, they have a rough idea as to where you are, but not exactly where you are. You would also note that the main city of Jakuz and his cultists is slightly north of the castle, and you guys are very close to the castle. So it's possible you might be getting closer to his area of power.
Either one of you guys got like some stealth magic, hiding us magic, anything like that?
No magic.
The crown is supposed to protect us, but if the items are largely spaced, they are harder to sense for him. That's what I got.
Well, I don't see any other action here but to press forward. And plug her nose, maybe.
We can take some precaution by trying to space the item a bit more. And keeping any large clump of them under the protection of the crown. But yeah, we're kind of close to his influence, you're right.
Right. And you guys continue on.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you continue on and it starts to get on towards evening, that area, it seems like you've passed through it. Caldy, since you're the one that had the sense magic, you would probably think of it as it's not so much that you were specifically being sensed, more like perhaps like a net of some sort was being cast out, hoping to catch something. Now that you're a little bit away from your village, it seems to have subsided.
That doesn't hurt my feelings one bit.
Might want to avoid that area.
Yeah, it basically once you get probably about 15, 20 kilometers from the village, that feeling seems to subside. But that does take us to evening. Do you guys want to push on, or are you setting up camp?
If we want to stay on schedule, with sleep and all, we should be camping. So if the net feel farther away, I think that's a good spot to camp.
All right.
So how are we gonna do this? Wait, I think it's probably best that we wait till you set up camp before Caldy sleeps, so he sleeps in the morning. I do have the
If we
sleeping
sleep,
bag with me.
if you sleep in the morning, we stay immobile for 3 quarter days.
I guess I
The
will
best,
try to sleep now, but I'm not confident.
yeah, I get it. Maybe we should have 2 people to try to sleep in the evening, so maybe at least one of them makes it. If we have somebody that is better with endurance, we do need somebody to keep watch while I
Yeah,
sleep.
I'll keep watch at night. I'll sleep now. I have 2 people sleeping risks 2 people being down.
Just that if 2 people sleep right now, maybe one of them manage to sleep before the camp is up, and
Yeah, but there's
whoever
only
didn't
one
manage.
sleeping bag.
Oh yeah, indeed.
I will risk it.
All right.
I will
So,
risk it, and I will increase my endurance after this.
right. So Calder's gonna try to bed down, complain the whole time that he never gets to sleep in the tent. What would Ryzen and Desi like to do while camp is being set up?
Are we still like right along the river?
Yeah, you're right along the river. I mean, you can kind of camp as close to the river as you like. If you want to camp like right on the shore or further inland, it's fine. But you're traveling along the river.
I'm gonna try my hand at fishing to try to get us some free food so we don't have to go into our stuff.
All right.
I'll keep watch.
Alrighty. So I will need a survival roll from Okatai, an endurance roll from Caldi, a survival roll from Ryzen, and a scouting roll from Desi.
Endurance roll, you said, right?
Yep.
Yay!
I'm worried. Foundry's being too good to us before the fight.
What fight? There's not gonna be any fight.
There's never any fight.
All right. So Okatai's getting the camp set up, getting the fire going. Caldi like kind of beds down in his sleeping fur, gets comfortable. Oddly, Desi's keeping an eye and an ear open. Ryzen's like sitting on the edge of the river, just kind of idly casting a line, catching some fish. And after like a couple of hours of this like serene, peaceful summer evening, you know, interrupted only by like the splashing of Ryzen's fishing line hitting the water, and actually does catch he catches some fish that can be turned into food. Desi, since you're on watch, you hear this blood-curdling screaming sound.
Does it sound like anything I've heard outside of a battle?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. What's it sound like?
For that, you can make a lore roll.
Oh dear.
You have heard a fair amount of screaming in your time.
I mean, yes. There are a lot of memories to sort through. Which is why I can't distinguish this particular screaming from any other screaming that I've heard.
Correct.
It all sounds like the Wilhelm scream after a while.
I'm a William screen.
So you hear the scream, and I mean, eventually everybody does hear it as well, kind of like echoing across the waters.
So it's loud. I don't know what it is, though.
I'm gonna end out my. I'm gonna bring out my spyglass. I look over the river.
Give me a scouting roll.
Scouting. Do I have a gear modifier for the spyglass?
+1, I believe.
Or it just allows me to try to look that far?
Oh no, it's a +2 actually.
Oh. Let me roll one more dice. Nope. But 2 success nonetheless.
Yeah. So you're kind of checking around. You don't see anything across the river. You can't see all the way across the river. It's a fair distance. It's probably about a good 10 kilometers across at this point. But you do see, kind of to the north of you along the coast, a not super large, probably about the size of a small horse, winged figure. That seems to be basically, it comes in flying down kind of low, and then kind of hits the ground, and you lose it in the trees and everything. With 2 successes, you can identify that as a manticore.
Oh,
Yeesh.
there's a manticore far away that way. We did find a nest of manticore at some point in the frozen mountain up east from here. And I was a bit too disturbed by the fact that the babies had a human face to do anything about those monsters thing. But I think there's one over there. And possibly somebody's fighting it. Would that be one X over, Chris, or in the same X?
No, it's the same hex, and had Desi not made her scouting roll, you guys probably would have stumbled into it in the morning as you traveled.
Eek.
Ah.
Now you guys have the choice as to whether you stumble into it or not.
Let's not.
Well, let's try to be discreet tonight and keep an eye out for it. But we know it's over there.
And again, there's that horrifying screeching sound. And Desi, now it kind of comes back to you. I mean, you've been around for a little bit. There's only one thing that causes that kind of pain, and that is the scream of somebody giving birth.
Oh wow.
Something giving
Yeah, I
birth.
haven't heard that in a long, long time.
That's why it
Huh.
took you a while to remember.
Yeah. That is definitely not like the other screaming I usually hear.
Well, she's gonna be very protective, so and probably will not want to leave her young alone. So she should not be wandering, and she's gonna be very angry if we show up. And Desi, you already offered me to try to raise a baby manticore, and the human face is just hard to look at.
Yeah, a lot of human faces are hard to look at.
Yeah,
True
like
that.
a house, like an house, like a house cat with a human face is just
Ah.
that's where my line gets drawn.
Bad medieval art. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. Nice fighting slime in Marginalia. Yep, those things.
You've seen a cat before, right? Oh yeah, definitely. No, definitely not.
I could definitely draw a horse. Can you draw a horse facing you? I guess you could not.
Yeah, let's avoid that. I mean, it's once it stops screaming, it'll probably be tired and weaker. But it will, I would imagine, definitely fight to the death. It's hopefully not ours. Or we
I
could just
assume
leave it the fuck alone.
I think it's gonna want to protect its young, so it's not gonna be
Uh-huh.
wandering about. So I think we can spend the night safely and just avoid it in the morning.
I mean, here's open.
Like I know I want to raise creatures, but this is fine. We can let them be.
Maybe not that creature.
You know.
But the rest of the evening, uh, aside from the occasional punctuating screams of a manticore giving birth, is quiet. Rising, you do actually catch some fish that can be cooked. It can be turned into a dye worth of rations,
Sweet.
or it could be eaten raw.
Ew.
Yeah, I'll cook it.
It's funny. Fantasy games are always like, "Don't eat fish raw." Meanwhile, it's like, "But what about sushi, sashimi?"
Sushi's so tasty.
You
So,
just
so
need to
tasty.
prepare it a bit, but
I don't know if Ryzen's learned to prepare it raw yet.
Rise into sushi chef.
I've only poisoned 1 out of 5 people so far.
Oh, there you go.
oh yeah, talking about poisonous food, I just forgot about something. But I gave some green toxic mushroom that are the recipe for orcs to Kogan when we got to the village.
Oh, Kogan would have been like, "Oh, this is awesome. Thank you." He's just munching away on them, like it doesn't bother him at all. It's like,
I mean, I was carrying them in case we needed to make a trade with orcs, but I don't want them to go bad. And since I know you're gonna enjoy them, have some mushrooms.
oh, this is great. Not even dried. Awesome. But nighttime comes. Caldy, you can hit your rest button. I assume everybody else is sleeping.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing during the evening, Caldy, is the occasional screeching of the manticore, which finally dies off, but probably about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Sounds like a Yoko Ono concert.
Ouch. But yes.
Morning arrives. It's a little bit drizzly, not a super rainy day. You guys have certainly had worse. Not enough to interfere with you at all. Everybody can roll for their food and water.
But I have the fish, so I'm okay for one day, right?
Yeah, I'll say you could have cooked the fish like as part of the catching of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can just have fish while everybody else is having like their dry tack and everything.
Yep, that works.
And my water is down. Already. Let's go.
Apparently, Okatai and Kaldi are just drinking like fish.
Like, I ate a fuck ton of food yesterday. Today, I'm just dry.
All right, but everybody can hit their rest button. People can spend XP if they want while they rested.
Last game I had trained for Pathfinder. I'd like to get the first level of that.
Okay.
I mean, I figure I'm doing that all the time. Might as well.
And you guys once again set off. You know, the dwarven places pretty much due west of you. But there's also large portions of the map that are unexplored near you. So, I don't know. Maybe you want to build a boat and sail across? That should only take 2 or 3 sessions.
I was thinking of keeping towards the Baker's Hut till we are in line with that way. Till we are in line with Dragon's Den.
Perfect. All right.
We should.
So I need a lead the way roll and a scouting roll.
So what direction are we going?
Northwest still.
Northwest. Caldy is on the ball. It's funny what a good night's sleep will do.
Yeah, a few days in that village didn't hurt either.
And I need a survival roll from Okatai.
Just to lead the way.
Yep.
Gonna click myself and lead the way. See if I can get the bonus. Oh yeah, it showed up.
All right. Quiet and peaceful morning stroll. As you kind of get, a little ways away from your camp, probably about an hour or so away from your camp, you do find what looks like a fairly bloody, not a battle, but like where basically an animal was messily slaughtered, and you find a bunch of like 4-inch quills embedded in one of the trees. Apparently, this is part of the Manticore's hunting grounds, but it's no longer here.
I didn't want to mess with the Manticore anyway.
Apparently, nothing else does either, because your travel through this area is unmolested. For the afternoon, which direction would you like to go?
Chris, would those quills be useful for anything like arrowheads or spearheads?
Not spearheads, but you could probably use them. You could probably use them for arrowheads.
All right. Well, we'll grab a few.
Yeah, they're not quite big enough for a spear. Like they're like a 4-inch spike, but they could probably be finessed down into an arrowhead for sure.
Yeah, why not?
So I'll say that you've got enough that you can make like a batch of arrows.
Sound good.
Which direction would you guys like to go in the afternoon?
Going toward yeah.
Okay. So another lead the way and another scouting roll. So as you're traveling along, called in the basically the like mid afternoon, probably like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. You see, there's a. It looks like there's like a discoloration in the floor, like in the forest floor. Like the leaves and the basically the kind of like rotted plant matter is not the same color as the surrounding floor. And you kind of take a look around, and you can see what look like footprints, probably about maybe 13-14 inches long, with definite like clawed toes. Also in the area.
I bet it's a dinosaur. Anybody recognize these footprints?
Let me check. Would it be a survival or lore if I want to try to identify the tracks?
I would say it's lore.
Cool.
Oh, maybe Stampy the Second.
Okay, you're looking at them, and they're too small to be dangerous dinosaur tracks. And there's a certain there's a gait to it. They're definitely humanoid, so they're probably saurian tracks, lizardmen basically.
Okay, yeah. We had a problem with them a long time ago. Remember the lizard people?
Didn't they try to kill us?
Yeah, they did. And until we saw the big dinosaur, I assumed the people of the first village we encountered made armor out of their skin, but they're probably doing it out of the dinosaur and not of the lizard people. But yeah, they try to kill us, and their cousin, the black one that lives in the volcano, also tried to kill us. So I assume we want to avoid them.
If at all possible, yes.
They didn't seem very kind to discuss.
And Caldy, as you're kind of looking around, since you do get multiple successes on your scouting, you can see trying very hard not to be noticed, but not doing a very good job of it. There's like a handful of lizardmen like watching this spot.
They're watching us.
It looks more like they're watching that spot of discolored ground.
Oh god, that means it's probably a pit trap or something.
They're trying they're all like huddled down between behind some trees and behind some bushes, and can it catch there's like one like up in a tree, like in a position to like drop down. Like they definitely have this area under watch.
Does he? How big a rock or piece of wood could you throw in the middle of that discolored area?
Why?
Yeah, we're being watched. I think it's a pit trap.
Why?
I think something's hunting something. There's lizard people around looking at it, looking at that area.
Oh,
I think I don't know if they're hunting us or they're just hunting.
gotcha. I mean, maybe they were hunting the
Anyway.
Manticore. And the Manticore got distracted because it had something better to do. But yeah, I can check. I guess. Where
Or
is
we
it
can
you think
avoid.
that pit?
Well, I'll point out the discolored area, or we could just avoid it entirely. But I
Are there
wouldn't step on that area.
other rocks around, Chris? Like decently heavy ones?
Yeah, there would be some.
I would like to shot put a couple of rocks over into that spot.
All right. Give me a marksmanship roll.
See if it falls through. Heft that up on my shoulder. We'll see if I can manage to hit him from here.
Oh.
Plunk, plunk.
Right. So Desi kind of like grabs a fair sized rock, kind of like gets into position, kind of shot puts it over, and when it hits that discolored place, it doesn't sink, but there's like a snapping sound, and then basically a net wraps around it and gets hauled up into the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Which is followed by a bunch of hooting and hollering as a bunch of saurians descend from various trees and hiding spaces. Looks like there's close to a dozen of them.
Well, shit.
They do not, as of yet, seem to have noticed you.
Are we exiting quietly and letting them celebrate their rock? Or are we gonna try to kill them all? Down either way. I mean,
That's a lot of them, though. So
They're not that close to the village, so I don't think it's an absolute necessity to deal with them. But
alrighty.
depending on if we want to try to talk with them. But
If they come after us, we'll slaughter
Yeah.
them all. And if they don't, they get to live.
Yeah, well, if they come after us, we'll slaughter enough of them until they run. Rest of them run, but
Sure.
so we've come to this.
All right, so you guys are trying to sneak away.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm gonna need whoever is worst at stealth.
Ah, shit.
that might be me.
I've got 4. Mainly because I have agility.
It's not
Actually,
me, got
only
five.
because I have agility.
So it's stealth. I got 3.
Ooh.
All right. Sounds like it's Ryzen.
Mhm.
Do I get a bonus die from somebody?
Nope. Unfortunately, group stealth is whoever is worse.
mine was also a 3.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oh shit! I'm down.
You sneaked away, but you
Okay, so the good news is the damage from the push occurs after the results of the roll. So yeah, so you're like, okay, there's a lot of them, and they are armed. Like most of them have what look like these. I don't know if you've ever seen like a spearfishing spear where they've got like the barbs, like the three pronged spear, and then two of the outer ones have the inward facing barbs to hook the fish.
Yep.
So they have weapons very similar like that, but on a larger scale. It looks like the sort of thing that you would use if you were like hunting humanoids. And
Yeah, sure.
yeah, and not all of them, but some of them also have throwing spears as well. So you're like, okay, that's a lot of them. And the last time we ran into things where we were outnumbered with missile weapons, things went very badly. So you decide discretion is the better part of valor, and you leave and you slink away into the forest. But as you're going away, like it's a little bit rough going, and Ryzen ends up basically like first he catches his ankle, and then he like trips and hits his knee, and by the time you guys are away from them but still in this hex, Ryzen's like fucking my like his like leg is swollen, and you're pretty sure that kneecap might be out of place. It might be disjointed. But you are away from the lizardman for the time being.
I think we need to discreetly make camp so we can take care of Risen. Straighten him
Which
out.
oh, that doesn't look right.
Yep. I think we're far enough so the lizard men
Ouch.
don't spot us, but
God
we
damn
need to
it!
take
This
care.
friggin' hurts.
Mm-hmm.
It looks uncomfortable. It's
No,
supposed
it
to
is
bend that way.
uncomfortable. I can assure you.
No, it's not supposed to bend that way.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't think it's
knees
supposed
don't
to bend this
bend.
way.
No,
Suppose
that's a
supposed to
little
bend.
wonky. Oh God, no. I don't want to click on that GIF.
It autoplayed and you don't.
Oh no, I'm glad mine didn't autoplay.
I do not believe that's possible.
No. But Ryzen's leg is not far off from that right now.
Oh my gosh.
I do kind of like I like the concept of this foul mouthed minstrel who's like badly fucked up his leg is like, oh my gosh.
Knock the curse words right out of your mouth.
You know, when everything is going
My limit
fine,
is
yeah, when everything goes fine, Ryzen is cursing a bunch. But when his leg is fucked up, he's like, oh my.
That's the shock talking.
All right. Yes, you could definitely set up camp here. There is going to be a penalty to try to set up camp without attracting the attention of the Saurian hunting parties.
Yeah.
So there will be a -2 penalty.
Can I assist?
Yes, you can.
That's
Okay,
survival,
can
right?
your magic get him moving so we can get a little further along? Can you heal his?
I mean, yeah, we could, but what time is it?
Right now it is just like afternoon.
Okay, well, we could move along to keep it safe. Yeah. Just gonna put our sleep schedule a bit wonky, but if we go up north, we could be close to the village that we heard about. So we could use that as a tipping point to get our order back in business. Uh, Let me just. I do have an enchanted item that create healing for 2. So I'm gonna use that on Risen. Should heal 2 point of agility without rolling. I don't want to keep it simple.
Perfect. Right. So yeah. So what is it? It's an amulet or?
Yeah, it's a couple of griffin feathers that have been bound together to make a little talisman. Uh, Probably gonna shine in the like golden honey light when I put it close to the wound. Close my eyes and just let it infuse the leg so it bring back in its rightful form.
So yeah. So this golden healing energy flows into the banged up leg, kind of straightens it. There's like a cracking of bones and stuff as everything goes back into place. But it does heal 2 points of agility damage. Which means you guys can continue on the way if you like.
Thank you.
I think the village was there. So if we go up north, we should be able to like we're gonna screw up our sleep schedule, but then we're gonna get to the village and we can skip one sleep time while we're there. Does that work for y'all?
Sure.
Yep.
Why are we going to the village?
Because if we push right now, we're gonna screw up a sleep schedule and we're gonna lose a day anyway.
It's afternoon now, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is. It is afternoon now. Yes.
and when we move, if I make camp, the camp's gonna be ready in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Basically, you can use the rest of this day. You'll still be in the same hex, but you'll be much further away from the Saurians.
Yeah, and then we set up camp in the evening and sleep in the night like we normally do, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to clear another hex to get clear of the Lizardman.
Okay,
Oh.
then yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. It's just basically, you put 5, 6, 8, 9 kilometers between you and the Lizardman, and as long as you keep your camp relatively small, you should be okay. But yes, that does keep you on the normal set up camp in the evening. Caldy sleeps while camp is being set up schedule.
So no
Okay, cool.
Burning Man fires. Okay.
Yeah, let's not. I'm gonna make camp. Do I still have the -2?
No. Now that you've fixed up Ryzen, you can get much further away.
Okay, so I'm gonna make camp.
What is everybody else doing in the evening?
I'll keep watch.
Okay.
How does that work?
So yeah, you do manage to get some sleep there, Caldy. You're good.
Did you have any point in entrance so far, Colby?
That knocked one off, but I just go to sleep and recover it, don't I?
Yep. Yep.
You try to sleep so hard you knock yourself out.
Wouldn't be
Well,
the
I
first
mean,
time.
I had 2 points. It took half of my endurance off, but half my strength. But
Maybe that's
I
what
don't
I need
know.
to try. Oh.
Right. So Ryzen's going to keep watch. What would Desi and Trustius like to do?
We could go hunting.
Yeah, I suppose. Desi will keep looking over at Trustius, kind of side eye. It's what's with the hair?
It was a mistake.
Scare yourself? Uh, well, better than lighting yourself on fire.
In this case, not really.
Oh,
Let's go kill something.
um, okay.
Justice will unsling his bow and stalk off from the woods to go hunting.
All right. Whoever is hunting can give me survival roll +1 for being in the forest.
Does he get +1 from me helping, or am I more of a hindrance?
Whichever one of you is making the survival roll gets +1 from the other.
Yeah, I think Trustius should probably be the
So
one
net
doing
+2?
that.
Net +2.
You make some noise while you walk this here. He used that to catch his prey. He knows how bad you're gonna be, and he used that to his
Yeah, I'm the
advantage.
distraction. I'm just
Damage to my ring.
scaring the wildlife into the path of his arrow. That sounds about right, actually.
As he's asking a bunch of questions and irritating Justice. Take 1 damage from wits.
All right. Because you got 2 successes, so if you don't like the first roll, you can roll again. You don't get to go back to a previous roll. So you could find a rabbit. Or you could roll again.
Rabbit's fine. We're not low on food. We're just gathering
Hunting
some
for something
things while
to
we
do.
have time, I guess. Yeah.
So you can roll either marksmanship if you're using a weapon, or survival if you're using a trap, with a +1 because it's a rabbit.
I think we'll use marksmanship.
Right, that is enough to kill a rabbit. You can roll for your arrows, though. Because I think it would be funny for Trustius to put like a dozen arrows into a rabbit.
Well, 8 hunting.
It's all ready for shish kebab.
So it is 2 meat and 1 pelt.
Okay, I'll add that to my.
And Ryzen can give me a scouting roll. So during your time on watch, Ryzen, I mean, you can smell kind of like hovering in the air, the smell of fresh baked cookies. But you know that you're fairly close to the baker's hut. And probably just the way the wind is blowing, it's carrying the smell of cookies on the air. Eventually, Trustius and Desi come back with a rabbit that they have freshly killed. Other than that, though, nothing disturbs you. Caldy gets some sleep. Camp is set. And brings us to nighttime.
Sleepy time.
I think everybody but Caldy, I think, is sleeping.
So you need a scouting?
Yes.
I don't see shit.
And everything was going so good. We made it so far.
Yeah, get these out of the way now.
It is. The night passes uneventfully.
As far as we know.
As far as you know, no lizardmen find you. Everybody can roll for their food and water unless somebody wants to eat raw rabbit.
Nope.
I mean,
No,
that would not be that
thank
bad.
you.
How much time do we have to cook it?
Basically, I believe food needs to be cooked within a day or two.
Okay, so when we bed down tonight, we can try to cook it.
Yes, you need to do it within a day or the meat will be spoiled.
Okay. Technically, while I make camp, somebody can cook that into a stew.
Yep. Yep.
Or something.
But another pleasant spring day or summer day. You know that the baker's hut is like you can get to the baker's hut by nightfall easily, or you can choose a different direction. Up to you.
Do we want to check the village or should we go straight to the Dragon's Den?
I got nothing in the
Village?
village I'm looking for.
I know that the witch was restocking for our alchemy there. There might be materials, but it also might not. So it's a gamble. We can go straight to Dragon's Den. Probably making this stuff gonna take a lot of time, so that might be something we want to do while we wait for things to advance. Just that we're not that far right now. So I'm asking before we set up that.
I see no reason to delay reaching the doors. Every step we take should be closer to making this weapon.
Yep. If we have time to kill, we can always go on an expedition while it's working on. Everybody goes with that? Is good with that?
Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna go west.
All right. I don't need to lead the way. I do need a scouting roll.
Oh, while we were sleeping, I raised my quartermaster.
All right.
He loves his effects, and it's one skill per night, so I'm spending them as we go.
All right. So as you kind of like make your way here, Culdy, with your finely tuned senses, at first you hear music, and then you can smell food. It smells like roast meats, and like the definite smell of barbecue. The music sounds like violins and kind of like a. Technically, they're the same instrument, but it's jauntier, so we're gonna say it's a fiddle.
Didn't we run into some actors and stuff like that? You think it's that?
Well, last time you guys saw them, they had just arrived at your village, so.
I assume it's not them, since they're still at the village.
Well, I'll point it out in case anybody's craving barbecue.
I mean, we've met interesting people popping on the way, so I don't see why we shouldn't just check up on whoever it is. Clearly having a blast right now.
All right, but let's not stay long.
Okay.
So kind of following
Trust your soul. Soul is shallow.
Okay, throw the cowl up and follow Caldy's nose, kind of like Toucan Sam. And yeah, Caldy leads you kind of through the forest, and as you're getting close, you can smell the, not just the meats, but you can start to smell like fresh baked goods, fresh baked bread. The music is very lively. You can start to hear laughing and some clapping and the murmur of voices. And as you kind of like come through this, come through the tree line into this little clearing, there is a very lovely wedding taking place.
Oh.
But I'll get everybody to give me an insight roll.
Are we in the right place?
Okadai is just racking his mind on why there is a wedding in the middle of the forest. But damn it,
Desi
is calm.
looks so confused. Like,
So
I
yeah,
don't think we're in the right spot.
and these these people, it looks like a mixture of like humans and orcs. They come up, come join us, and Desi and Trustius, okay, yeah. And the two of you are led into the wedding. But Okatai and Ryzen and Caldy, those people are see-through.
Guys, these are ghosts.
Can I make a lore check? Like ghost or memories or something like that?
Yes, absolutely. Meanwhile, Trustius and Desi, you guys are basically led into the wedding. There's it's a decent turnout, probably like 15, 20 people. You're like, huh. Drinks are handed. They give you like some flutes of champagne. There's all kinds of food. There's like a buffet laid out. There's a wooden stage decorated with flowers. There's like a table just laden down with fruits and drinks. There's some musicians. It looks like, from what you can tell, there's two people that are dressed in white, a man and a woman, both of them dressed in white. You would guess that's probably the bride and the groom. The bride is an orc and the groom is human.
This is odd. Congratulations, I guess.
Well, thank you. Do you know Robert or Trega? Which are you with, the groom or the bride?
Neither. I'm with that group of people over there. We just stumbled across you guys. We can step out. I mean,
No. There's plenty. I mean, the way you're dressed, I would assume that you knew either of them from their days as mercenaries.
yeah, I can understand that.
Please, have a seat. Have some wine.
Sure.
Don't touch the wine.
Okay.
We can't stay
I
long.
completely, I completely muffed on my lore, so I have no idea what's happening.
Can I make a lore roll?
You sure can. Cully, you're pretty sure if these folks are ghosts, then they are probably reliving the moment of their death.
Yeah, shit's gonna get real unreal very soon.
Okay. I am apparently on duty and not allowed to drink right now.
Oh, surely just this one. It's a special occasion.
As you look back at Goldie.
Goldie kind of gives the the thumb across the throat signal, like no.
Jeez. Okay then. You don't need to get
Such a
about it.
buzzkill.
Meanwhile, for those of you who have not been like invited into the wedding, they don't pay any attention at all to you. They just kind of pass by you. In some cases, unless you step out of the way, they pass through you. But for Trustius and Desi, like for Trustius, there's people like, I've never met enough before. Is it true that you're like that you live forever? And asking like all of the sort of inane wedding guest questions.
Oh, I'm sure Trustius is thrilled with all of this. Likely
Yeah,
tapping his foot, waiting for Desi to excuse us.
Desi looks like she's getting comfortable.
I love that our two most social people are involved in this very social occasion.
You know, I don't know that I've ever actually been to a wedding before.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a shame.
I mean, it's a job thing.
That's why
Not-
Trega and Robert have turned their backs on that way of life. I mean, her family is not in favor, but
Yeah, I would imagine.
but hopefully, with time, the two families will see that the two of them love each other very much, and we'll be happy for them.
Sure.
But
He kind of whispers to Desi, I think we're going to see the reenactment of a massacre here any moment now. Don't get involved.
Why? What?
Ghosts.
Why?
None of these people
Yeah,
are
I don't
real.
know.
I'm not going to harm these people just because they make me go to a wedding.
What?
That's the problem. Even Vrigo.
No, don't kill them because they made you go to a wedding.
I think they're already dead.
Exactly what I just said.
I'll take another look around.
You think they're already...
okay, yeah, you take a look around. They look solid enough. Those canapes that they're handing around look amazing.
The food looks good. The people look solid. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, when the dancer just went through me, so they feel not very tangible to me and a bit translucent. But I get that you don't see that. I'm just wondering which one of us is having the right frame of mind.
Fair?
Am I Am I just not understanding how wedding works? Are people supposed to be translucent?
I have not eaten any mushrooms in the last day and a half. Have you?
Yeah. Well, I do
I
forage
have
when I can.
I have not eaten any meat that has gone bad in the past day and a half. Have you? Because everybody here looks just as solid as we do.
I'm gonna try to put my hand on somebody's shoulder, see if I go through or if I can actually get a hand on someone.
So Okatai, you reach out, you pass through Desi, you see Okatai just like shove one of these guests.
The fuck? You can't just shove people around. What are you doing?
My hand went through him. Like he's
No, it
not
definitely
physical.
did not. You shoved
Uh,
the guy. I'm sorry. We're not used to weddings
Oh, that's
at all.
Wolfkin are the way they are.
See, Wolfkin are the way they are. Which is,
That's very true.
nice. We're the way we are too, but whatever.
You
it's not
people.
used to it.
Not used to weddings. I don't know that any of us have ever been to one.
Well, you're more than
I've
welcome.
been to several weddings.
What?
Never a wedding between a human and an orc, though.
No,
Very
well,
strange.
Trestius has lived forever and apparently has gone to a wedding before.
And
I've
as you
had 4 of my own.
Half of that's correct. I have not lived forever. Just longer than you.
but as you guys are having this discussion, you hear
Really?
you hear the sound of hunting horns. For Okatai and Ryzen and Cully, it's very faint, very echoey, very flat. For Desi and Tresius, it sounds real and it sounds close.
This is I told you so moment.
Is that normal?
And as that horn sounds, you see a bunch of the guests, like they get this panic look on their face, and there's like whispers of like, they found us, her family found us. People start dashing this way and that way. Nobody here is armed,
That doesn't look normal.
other than Desi. And then this horde of orcs descends on the wedding, like the red wedding in like Game of Thrones.
Desi will pull Brief.
Hopefully Bria's made his insight roll.
Well, first of all, Desi and Tresius are going to take 3 points of wits damage.
What?
3?
Well,
Yep.
never mind then.
Where did the orcs come from?
They just seem to be kind of coming out of the tree line. For you guys, they seem to just be materializing out of nothingness. And the orcs are equally see-through to those of you who made your initial insight roll.
Let me check Berserker.
I will sit back, cross-legged, and watch the show.
Yeah,
Very
you can get your wits back with Berserker. It does work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I get 1 wit back. And I then become immune to any attempts to manipulate me.
Yep.
Oh, and all of my close combat attacks do 1 extra point of damage.
Yep. This is a.
Always forget that part.
Yeah, this is a
me too.
basically it's a fear attack. So if you have fearless, you can roll your insight as armor.
I do not have fearless.
All right. So 3 points of wits damage to Desi and 3 points to Trestius.
That feels stressy, this track.
All right. So that means we got some trauma coming. So we'll roll for Desi first.
Rolling which?
On the horror trauma table.
Oh. Does that happen before Berserker kicks in?
It does, because if you roll really
Okay.
bad and have a heart attack and die, Berserker doesn't kick in.
Oh dear.
Oh,
So what do I need to roll?
It's on the horror trauma. So Desi ends up with an altered personality. Your personality is
Oh.
altered in a fundamental way by this brush with horror.
What?
I'll never go to a wedding again.
Last night was Cthulhu. What the hell? Evelyn's having a rough enough time. What's happening to Desi?
Dizzy is her other personality that is to escape the horrors of Cthulhu life.
The last thing we need is Evelyn here right now. God only knows what would happen. We'd end up in a different plane of existence. Do I choose Desi's new personality, or do you?
It's kind of in conjunction with both. All right, Trustius. Trustius is lucky. Is Desi lucky?
No. If she was lucky, she wouldn't be here.
So Trustius can either have a heart attack and die, or suffer from amnesia and block this horrible thing from his memory.
Choose him.
What wedding? What are you talking about?
It's important. This is actually really important for your ongoing goals. Is you lose all memory and cannot recollect who you or the other adventurers are.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
shit. Okay.
A heart attack is still not an option. Just
Well, it's better than a heart attack. Right? The other one's a heart attack, so we'll figure it out. Think about that for a second.
Okay. So as these for those of you who succeeded at your initial insight roll, this wave of spectral orcs basically overtakes his wedding party and just like butchers everyone. And you see, Trustius and Desi are, just kind of standing there flabbergasted as to what's going on. You see Desi try to grab her sword, but it doesn't seem to have any effect. Desi, you're just kind of standing there motionless as you watch all of these innocent people just get slaughtered around you.
No one listens to the goblin.
You're muted.
sorry, she stands there frozen in place, just wide-eyed.
And then as this massacre ends, everything kind of fades from sight. There's no bodies left behind. There's no tables left behind. Everything just fades from view.
So when Desi and Trustius were in the midst of it, did it look like they were getting attacked as well?
No. At least not from the perspective of those of you who made your initial insight rolls. Basically, you guys are watching a movie. Desi and Trustius are on set.
You two okay?
Wait, does the guy with the plan to beat the demon lord not remember anything about the plan to beat the demon lord?
Yeah, I think it's that thing. I'm trying to wrap my brain around it right now.
You and me both. Desi is just staring wide-eyed at where the bride and groom were before they were chopped into bits. She has one hand on Briath, like she's got one hand on the sword sheath, one hand on the hilt, and is just sort of frozen, staring at where they had been.
And Chris, I assume like the bodies faded away. At some point, we realize there's a magical effect, right?
Yes, yep, absolutely. Everything kind
Or
of fades away as soon as the kind of massacre is done.
well, that is very interesting. And he'll look over to Desi. Are you the sorceress? Or is there another nearby?
I feared something like that might happen. Um, you guys okay?
Awoken. Mercenary?
Yeah.
It was not
Oh,
actually-
lovely.
Um, uh, we've been friends for a while. Uh,
That seems unlikely.
I was thinking that too, but I didn't want to say anything.
I was going to say friends might be a strong term for some of us, but
uh, Chris just seems to have lost a bit of our adventures.
trust me, you're a humble tailor, but yet your skills in many other areas that you keep secret are amazing. That you maintain that you're a simple tailor.
I am not a tailor. I've never been a tailor.
So what are you then?
Are
Good
they still
question.
broken?
Where am
seriously,
I? This
what are
is
you
not
then?
Golf Course.
If you're not a tailor, what would you say you do?
Who are you?
I'm your best friend, Ryzen. Don't you remember?
That is also unlikely. And that hammer seems way too big for you. How do you even lift it?
That's what she said, but somehow I do.
Well, Trestius, you actually taught me a little bit of magic, and I'll repeat something back to him that in his own kind of words. Um, you just been traumatized by some ghosts. Hopefully, your memory will come back because we kind of need your help killing a demon.
Demon. Very dangerous.
Yeah, you've been cursed. I'm sad to say.
I've been cursed for a very long time.
Oh, this is a
Killing
new one.
demons,
This is the one where they eat you die on this island and they eat your soul.
sounds unpleasant.
I think you're muted again, Nita. Oh.
What word would you say magic? Those are true words. That would be something I would tell you. Certainly. How did I end up becoming cursed?
Everybody on this island is cursed, and everybody on this island has committed a crime and was convicted and sent here.
The Empire sent you here as prisoners, and when you set foot on the island, you got marked by Jacuz, the demon who claims the soul of everyone who walks on this island. Nobody has ever been able to leave this island because of that curse.
Be a remarkable, powerful demon.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
we,
And you're the guy
that
that came up with the plan to beat it.
I
Deserted
might.
Island, you say?
A dreadful island.
Sound the dreadful. Oh, all right. Tell me about this island and this demon.
Um, would you let me uh heal you? You just been through a wave of ghosts, and I fear it has left lingering effect.
You are a sorcerer.
More of a druid.
Druid.
Yes.
If you think your magic can help me, then sure. I assure you my magic and yours are not compatible, though.
Yeah, I've seen that. With You've lost some of your memory. We've been walking together for a while, and I know that some of the things we do not mesh well. Let me just start with this. I'm gonna cast cleanse spirit on him to heal his wits first.
Okay.
Gonna save cast it just to be safe. Doesn't even apply.
That'll give Trustius 3 wits back.
And I do not know if mend wound works on trauma.
It is technically a critical wound.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna need to ask you something. You've been through a couple of terrible things here. You been killed once and saw what awaits us on the other side, and it didn't leave you unscathed. Right now you don't remember that, but I fear that if I bring your memory back, that will come back. You also knew how to you also had a plan to kill the demon that has a claim on our soul. So we kind of need that plan back. But by bringing back your memory, I'm gonna bring everything. I cannot do that without you understanding the implication of what I'm about to do.
What was my plan?
We we found various elven artifacts that have elven stones embedded in them and the souls of their bearers we can communicate with in them that were able to bind Jakuz a long time ago. And we plans on making a weapon and put all of those gems in it. A weapon that could kill a demon.
That would be very difficult.
Yes,
Nearly impossible.
but yes, and you're pretty sure you had learned everything you needed to be able to do such thing. But you went through hell for that information. Those things are intrinsically linked.
Interesting. Hold off on your magic for now. Tell me about the island. About this devil, this demon. Or do we know which is which? A devil or a demon?
We think it's a demon trying to become a god.
Do we know its weakness?
Life. Sacrifice life given freely.
That will be difficult.
Yes, very much so.
In the meantime, how is Desi reacting to things?
Desi is just kind of slowly turned her head to watch their conversation. Um, she has very slowly and carefully removed her hands from Brieth and has taken a very quiet step backwards away from them.
I must say that right now, Obadiah has not spotted that Desi was unwell.
And what are Caldi and Ryzen up to?
I'm, like I said, sitting back cross-legged. I was like waiting for my opportunity to say, I told you so, but you didn't listen. But I told you so.
I'm gonna look at Desi. Desi, are you okay? Do you remember us?
Yeah, I remember you.
Okay, that's good. I don't have to fill in the blanks with one person at least. How are you feeling?
Um, Not really sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Well, when you have some idea, if you want to talk, just let us know.
Yeah, right.
Do you need some assistance? I can help clear your
Assistance?
mind.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
If the ghost
think
has
so.
some marks on your mind. I mean, I saw you scream at the ghost and flailing about.
I don't remember flailing.
Oh, sorry. Did you enter your rage or not? I assume you did.
No, she didn't actually.
That's where that was coming from. Sorry.
But she does seem to be a little further away.
Yeah.
Um, no.
I mean, I can give you a little help if you feel it's necessary. I don't
Chris,
want to invade you.
is she in any pain right now?
No, she feels fine.
Fine. Okay. No.
Okay. Just like see how it affected Trestus. So if anything feels off, I'm there.
Would I know if
Not
something was
necessary.
off?
Not necessary. Depending on what the ghost did to you.
Hmm.
It seems to have taken Trestus' memories away. They might have taken something subtler from you. They were stuck in the moment they died, from what Colby told me.
We should go.
Yeah, probably.
If they're stuck, we shouldn't be here. Right?
Yeah, it's entirely possible to repeat the same thing tonight, or maybe not for another year.
I
who
don't
knows?
want to do that. No. No.
Let us leave and we can assess what we do when we set up camp. That works with y'all.
Mhm.
Precious, are you okay to travel with us? Or did you come up with an answer to my question?
Certainly, you could tell me all about my. Curious what this life will be like. Or was like, I
Well,
suppose.
let's start walking and I'll tell you the tale of the past few months. You can decide what you want us to do. Is that good with you?
Right. So you guys continue on to the west,
Yeah.
leaving the wedding behind. I will need a lead the way and a scouting roll. And I guess
You're
Tressius,
gonna leave.
is Tressius going with these strangers?
I offered him to tell him the tale as we walk, so I'm hoping this will compel them enough.
Sorry, I was muted. My understanding, Chris, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that elves, like, they can end up dead a bunch, right? And kind of grow back out of their gems over time.
Over time and under specific circumstances.
Right, so it's not alien for, completely alien for an elf to be, okay, I'm a clean slate now. What what was I doing, or what is this clean? What is who am I now? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think he's kind of curious of who he was, what he was doing, and I mean, we'll fix the trauma eventually, but I think he just experienced it for a bit.
Okatai is like, I don't want to put the trauma back for as long as we can avoid it. So as long as Precious is willing to travel with us, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a bit
So
of time.
he'll
before
travel with
giving
him, and we certainly don't need to RP the last 77 sessions, but
Yeah.
in. That's why I
You know,
wanted
just-
to montage that.
we could just say that we catch everybody up, right? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Skip over the most traumatic parts. Give him the high level view.
Yeah, that kind of thing. You know, we found a book and learn some stuff, and you know,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you're a necromancer that sometimes sucks the souls out of things.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, and I'm a far better wizard than you are.
Master Wizard Culdy there.
Yeah, I started a few months ago. I'll reach past your teachings. Never set myself on fire, not even once.
That's good.
Never got paralyzed. Never happened.
I once passed out, but he doesn't remember passing out, so it doesn't matter. Damn.
After they've walked for a while, Desi will remove her helmet and then like another piece of her chainmail. Probably the gotta remember my chainmail piece parts.
The tassel.
The Sabaton, because it's such a great name.
Let me see.
They even named the dam after.
I've been doing daily crafting quests in ESO. I can name all of the heavy armor plates in my sleep. Go and make 2 of this. How about if I just make 4 and then you don't bother me anymore? Nope, 2.
No, she'd probably take the mantle off though. And just kind of carry them in one hand.
So as you guys travel on, you know, filling in Trussius on the things that have happened, you see Desi like taking off some of her protective gear. Like not all of it, but you know, it's kind of absolutely taking off kind of like the heavier pieces, getting a little bit more freedom of movement, I guess.
It's because they chafe.
And I will get Okatai to give me a lead the way and Kuldi to give me a scouting.
Izzy, why are you taking your armor off?
Rubs. Right here, and she'll kind of like, you know, gesture on one of her collarbones. It's just bugging me. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
Right now, Obadai's wits is damaged, so I assume his insight is shit.
We're all at Ryzen and Caldy's mercy.
Oh boy.
Oh fuck.
Do I have to be the fighter and the wizard?
Enjoy
I mean,
our
right now her
hand-to-hand
helmet's
time.
closer to your head than
Supposed to
hers.
be enjoying my retirement.
Here on this island?
In this economy,
In this economy.
The
Um,
lovely place on the beach should be fine.
Oh yeah, that
um,
lovely beach.
I'm just wondering, Chris.
Yep.
Now I rest when I lead the way. I don't know what that means.
Basically, it's treated like rest, which means you get to hit your rest button while you travel.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Uh,
that sounded nice when I was reading it, but yeah.
yeah. So the two big
You're getting into
advantages.
your loop.
The two big advantages are you rest while you travel, which also means you can spend XP. You do still need to sleep, but you basically recover quicker.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rest while we walk.
In the game I was playing, it was one of the first talents I took because I read and said like, "Does this do what I think it does?" And the game master was like, "Yep." I'm like, "Hell yes."
Just get into that nice rhythm, that walking rhythm where everything just kind of moves smoothly.
Well, there's
It
there's
was on my
yeah, there's one that lets you rest while you lead the way. There's one that lets you rest while you're fishing. There's one that lets you rest while you're hunting, and there's one that lets you rest while you're foraging.
Pity there's none that
if
lets you
we're
rest while you're fighting, or I'd have something that
Yeah.
was useful. None of those things apply to me.
if we walk into a path that we already went like an X we already explored, can I still lead the way to get my rest?
No, you can't.
So
'Cause
I rest only while we're on unexplored X.
yeah, it's basically the excitement of seeing new things invigorates you.
Works for me.
Right. But as it gets into evening, uh, you guys know you're probably a couple of days away from the dwarves at this point. Somebody can set up camp. You guys can do all your watch stuff. I assume Cully's going to sleep.
Snore, snore.
All right. What would Ryzen and Desi and Trustius like to do?
we're
I'm
setting
gonna
up
cook my
camp.
rabbit.
Sorry, what was that?
I think he's cooking a rabbit.
All right.
So we set up camp. I'm just gonna keep watch for now.
Okay. Do you want to set up camp, or do you want to keep watching, or do you want to cook the rabbit?
Okay, I'll cook rabbit.
I heard somebody say they were cooking rabbit, so.
I think it was
Trusty says
Trusty's.
chef. He can. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I can cook it.
And I guess that leaves Desi to keep watch.
Oh, Desi's not keeping watch.
Okay.
I'll keep watch.
When we get to a spot and everyone like starts, Cully digs out his sleeping fur and Okatai starts setting up camp, Desi's just gonna find a spot, sit down, and start taking armor pieces off.
Stretching out the legs, crinkling your toes.
Rubbing my collarbones, flexing my wrists. Yeah, just kind of working out all the aches that, comes with wearing chainmail 23 hours out of the day.
Well, I assume you don't sleep in it, so like
It depends on the night.
16 hours.
There have definitely been nights when she has slept in her armor.
Right.
When feeling the rocks through your chainmail is more comfortable than feeling the rocks through your blanket, she sleeps in her chainmail.
So yes, as Trustius, you can roll me a d6. Caldy, you can give me a endurance roll. And Ryzen can give me a scouting roll. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Cully does not get any sleep tonight.
Well, I don't need it to scout. But I don't think I'm putting on Desi's armor today.
Right. Trustius, you do manage to cook one of the rabbit. I can't remember if Chef gives you a bonus or not.
No, I think it just lets you do it. I only have level 1.
Oh, yeah, rank 2 gives you the extra unit. Right, so you managed to cook one of the pieces of rabbit meat. The other one has apparently gone off, but that is a die worth of food or can be eaten. Ryzen, you're keeping your eyes open. It's a quiet night, but periodically, you're looking over and Desi seems to be sore. But as we kind of bring things to the nighttime, I think we'll call it there with the dawning realization that something may not be right with 2 of your party members.
Well, with Trustius, it's
Alrighty.
never been right.
This is fine.
The problem with
Yes.
Desi is that I don't know there is a problem yet, and the problem with Tristis is that I know there is a problem yet, and fixing it is going to make things worse for him, and I feel bad about doing it.
That's true. In a weird way, Trustius is, probably somewhat happy for the first time in forever. I mean, everything is new.
Yeah. There's all kinds of atrocities that haven't happened.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure
Like,
out his brain without trauma. It's like, oh.
I mean, if it wasn't for the old quest for saving the island and the world thingy, I'd probably let Tristis enjoy his newfound peace. But gotta put that on his plate. Gotta put all this shit on his plate.
There's this old book/movie called The Flowers for Algernon about a guy that gets some experimental
God.
tree, becomes super
Horror.
smart, and then as things are going on,
So much.
realizes that it's not going to last forever, and he's going to go back to being basically dumb again. So it's totally tragic. And Trustius is at the point
I hate it so much.
as a player, right now, Trustius doesn't have all the trauma. Everything is new. Everything is exciting. But amnesia isn't permanent.
Oh dear.
So at a certain point, all of that trauma is going to come flooding back into Trustius.
He wouldn't be trusting us if he wasn't screwed up. I mean, come on.
True.
Guy's a mess.
Right.
And random side note, the camp is really better made than it used to be. So now everybody who scouts in the camp gets +2 to scouting.
Oh, very nice. All right. So XP participation. Everybody gets 1. Travel through a new hex. Yes. Discover new adventure site. No, the wedding wasn't an adventure site. Defeat 1 or more monsters. No, because the ghosts were not monsters.
And we lost.
And we did.
Yeah, we did.
They kicked her ass.
Find a treasure. No. Build a function. No. Activate pride. No. Suffer from dark secret. I'm actually gonna give that to Trustius and Desi for suffering from the trauma and having to roleplay vastly different characters.
I'm never going to say no to XP.
Suffer from risk your life? No. Any extraordinary actions?
I mean, I would have given the expansion.
We didn't actually do very well.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was just saying we didn't actually do very much. We avoided most things.
You did. I mean, it's only taken 77 sessions, but you guys are like, maybe Knuckle poke the Manticore that is, right there.
I would have given the extraordinary XP just for the playing of the trauma and all, but we already gave an XP for that.
Yeah. All right. So it looks like 2 XP and then 3 for Tresius and Desi. And we will pick this up next week.
All right. See you next week. That was some
All
episode.
right. Thanks as always, Chris.
Yeah.
That was weird as hell.
Good night, everybody.
I have no idea what to do with her now.
Have a good night, folks.
I mean, it should have been flipped around, like get our necromancer to see that it's ghost, and I would have been better dealing with the fear than they would have. But